Hey YouTube, it's Alicia Burton, and I have a couple of videos today. So the first video I want to talk about right now, we're gonna be talking about Project Runway and Project Runway All Stars. So yes, let's get started. So as y'all know, last Thursday was the season finale of Project Runway All Stars. I'm gonna give, if you haven't seen it, I'm not gonna tell you if you got that DVR, if you got it DVR or you haven't seen it. This video is not sponsored. Go to Hulu, go to Netflix, however you pronounce it, and go and watch the finale. But for those of y'all who is, yeah, so if you haven't seen it, let me give you a chance to log off if you don't want to hear who won just yet. So let me give you a minute. Okay, so for some of y'all who's still here, you still here. So I'm going to go down through. I think this season brought some real good competitors. You got Fabio Castro returning for a second time. You got Stanley also returning for the second time. And I'm going to get on them too at the almost towards the end. So stay tuned for that. I thought it was kind of okay, but I felt like Merlene, the two black girls was robbed. Let me just say that. Merlene and I cannot think that other black girl name. If y'all know her name, leave her name alone. I just think the girls, some of the girls and the black girls was, how I say, screwed and stuff. And the reason I'm finna get ready to say what I'm finna say is the following. Is that I like Project Runway and I like Project Runway All Stars. I watch all the seasons, and one of the things I have reiterated when I still had my old channel is like when it came to Project Runway, I do not like the unconventional challenge. The unconventional challenge should not have, to me, it don't have nothing to do with fashion. I think all of the challenges should have everything to do with fashion, every different types of fashion. It should be like slip from the and I'm literally being honest. I'm from this year and from both seasons for this year. Project Runway and Project Runway All Stars. You don't see nothing there. You don't see them doing anything for the real woman. You don't see them doing anything for plus size women. Okay, you brought in plus size women this season on the Project Runway, but not on All Stars. Something's not right. Okay. All right. This is what I'm fin to say. I like everything, and from past winners. I mean, some people when they come on All Stars, they have a redemption season. They come back with redemption, and they did that. Now, how they did Helen, I just feel like how they did Marlene and the other black girl and Helen. Those were your top best female designers, and you get rid of them. No, 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 no. I think people will agree with me. The two black girls and Marlene, the other black girl, and Helen, who I think she's Hispanic or think should have been the three, should been in the top five. Now I will tell you some questionable things come from some of the designers. All right, so let me get started. When it came to who was going to the finale, it was between Ken, Fabio, Stanley, and Anthony. All right. Anthony was well deserved of going to the finale. Ken, do I think Fabio and Castro deserve to go to the finale? Stanley should, but Fabio Castro, I actually question his taste aesthetic. Okay, let me just put it that way. I question his taste aesthetic, and I'm gonna tell y'all that in a minute. And Ken, now to me, I felt like, oh, they're gonna pick Anthony. They was gonna pick Anthony, Stanley, and Ken, and Fabio would be out because I'm gonna tell you why I feel this way about Fabio, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But when they pick Fabio over Ken, and I go, hold up, are you kidding me? Ken, I I feel like Ken was screwed on his season of Project Runway. Let's get that straight. That boy can sew and he can design. I give that to him. And he's good and he knows how he wants his model. And I'm going to get on these models in a minute. All right. The next thing is, let me talk about Stanley and Fabio. Before I talk about him, let me talk about the finale. The finale was great. I loved it. Anthony's collection. I think his last name is Williams, Anthony Williams. So I think he would be the second or third black person, African American, to win Project Runway All Stars. Don't quote me on it, but go and look it up. I think he's the second or third, but I do remember the first one. If you remember, what's her name? Aja, I think that's her name. Aja Williams. She was the first winner on All Stars. She came on the first ever Project Runway from her season. The season before when they first introduced. And she came on there and she nailed it and she went to the finale. I think some African American designers comes back and they get redemption. I say Project Runway All Stars is redemption for some of the designers. Anthony was on the first he literally said he was on the first All Stars and he did something wrong. He went all the way, and I actually he is from my neck of the woods. I just say Anthony Williams. He is great. He's strong. He's independent, and he shows and what he said afterwards when he heard his name. He gave out this big scream, and I said, "Brother, you have arrived." And I want to say, Anthony, congratulations. You have arrived. You have shown. You've been on this season and you showed dignity and class and you made friends. Now, getting me to say about Fabio Castro and Stanley. They both, for 2 straight years in their season, and on All Stars. Stanley, let's start with Fabio. Fabio was in the finale of his season, but he didn't win. But when I think this is his second time on All Stars. On his first time on All Stars, he was in the finale and fell short. Okay, do I feel like this? He do not need to come back for a third time. I'm sorry. I'm being honest. Fabio Castro, that's his name, should not be on Project Runway All Stars for a third time. I'm sorry. Cut it. His time has came and passed. He had 2 tries. Boom. He haven't won. You out. Same thing with Stanley. Stanley was in the finale of his season. This is Stanley's second try. Stanley aesthetic, I'm finna get to in a minute. But Stanley, this was your second try. You didn't win. So I think it's just time for you to move to the side and let somebody else come in and compete. Now, before I get to Fabio, let's talk about Stanley's aesthetic. He have sort of like this classic aesthetic that is like it's this classic aesthetic. So do I feel like the classic? He has just this classic aesthetic. Anthony is like have a glamorous classic aesthetic, but he has that modern twist. To me, when I see Stanley's outfits, they don't have, sometimes he don't have that edge. He's always have doing this high collar neck. I haven't never seen him do a one shoulder piece. I have never seen him do anything off the shoulders, strapless. I haven't seen him do anything like that. Haven't seen him do a high split or anything. And he stays with his color palette where he's comfortable in, and that's black and creams and white. I don't see him use color. When they told him he needs to use color, then he started using color. Now, sometimes I felt like the host, I love Melissa Milano. I feel like sometimes Melissa Milano needs to start going to the work. Excuse me. If they do it next season, I think that Melissa Milano need to start going to the workroom as with the mentor. And I can't think of the mentor who mentors them like Tim Gunn does. Um, and I'm gonna get on that. Get on that. I do not know her name, but I just feel like go up in there with them and see what they're doing and give them feedback. And I think what they need to start doing for each season of All Stars, this is what I feel like they need to do on All Stars when they need to, they like, it's like when they come back, it's like the mentor needs to go up in there and say, let me see your fabrics. And 30 minutes of her checking the fabrics, and she said, and she needs to start saying, that fabric's not going to work good with that design. And they said, and she goes back and she goes, some of y'all have good fabrics and some of y'all don't. For some of y'all who don't, we need to take you back to mood and let you, you know. And that's that. I mean, it needs to be a leeway for them to go back and exchange fabrics or get different fabric. Because sometimes the fabrics they get ain't gonna work. So I can't think of the guy who won the Betty Boop challenge. He always did this little diaper effect bottom. I think his name was Jonathan. Armando. I think that's that dude's name. He's African American. Armando. His stuff is pretty good, but it's like easy breezy, get by. But let me just like I said, I told you how I feel about Stanley's aesthetic. When I first see Fabio's aesthetic, I could see myself wearing the top that they told him that he scrapped. I could see myself wearing that top. It's pretty. It's something. Okay, I liked it. But sometimes his aesthetic is very questionable. We don't know what he is. Do he do dresses or anything? When it comes to elegant dresses, what he consider elegant dresses looks like muumuus. Look like something you should wear around in the house. But let me just get on what I feel like should happen. But let me just talk about one of Stanley. When Stanley had this dark, beautiful dark skin model. And on one of the ones, he told the makeup artist what he wanted. And the face looked too greasy. It looks like you can take looks like she's been frying over a frying pan and you can take grease off of her face. That's what it looked like. And I just feel like y'all need to get makeup artists to be there to see, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is the color palette. Boom. Come up with a look off of that, or what he's presenting and what he is asking for. I think it's now Project Runway All-Stars need to start judging their makeup as well, because sometimes the makeup does work and then sometimes it doesn't. Now, going right along. They bringing in new models for Project Runway All Stars. How about y'all just bring back the models they had when they was on Project Runway? It's more efficient, it's more better, and hey, but I really feel they need to start adding. No, I feel like no presidential challenge should be done, and I'm going to tell you why. I feel like it needs to be more fashion based. When I feel like they doing the provincial challenge, it's more of an art based like form. It's like being an artist like form. But when I say provincial challenge, the provincial challenge, I feel the following is the following. Excuse me, y'all. Is the following, and I'm going to say they just need to keep it into formal wear, Grammys, Oscar award season type like wear, inspired by a music artist doing these type like things, lingerie, swimsuits. I mean, you name it, they're good. And stop doing a lot of team challenges. I say I probably about two or three team, about two a season team challenges that will work. Now, and they need to do that, but that's how I feel about it. So y'all, how do y'all feel about Anthony winning Project Runway All Stars? And do you agree with me that Fabio and Stanley should not appear on All Stars for a third time? I'm Alicia Burton. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.